Hey guys, welcome to Garage Works. So a couple of months ago I bought a Nissan Pathfinder. This is for everyone that owns a Nissan Pathfinder R51. I've got a 2006 and I had transmission issues, gearbox issues, and I've bought a replacement box, but I'll just talk you guys through what I've done with mine. So the box I wanted to purchase quite expensive. Looking at rebuilds, quite expensive, so I bought for a second-hand box. I didn't buy the vehicle for a lot of money. What I bought, will show you guys. Right. So what I ended up buying was a second-hand gearbox out of a Nissan L-van. Now in New Zealand we've got a lot of Nissan L-vans. Wherever you are in the world, don't know if it's there. But so what I found, the Nissan L-van gearbox or transmission is a four-wheel drive gearbox as well. So there you'll see it says VQ35. So this gearbox is called the VQ35 box. So basically what I had to change on mine was, this is a RE505 box, right? So it's a Jatco, Japanese transmission company, and what I had to change in my box basically is the center section here, which I changed. So this is not identical, and the bell housing is not identical to the VQ40, because I've got a 4-litre V6 Pathfinder, 2006 Pathfinder. You have to change your bell housing over. So bell housing is basically a straight swap over. You swap your torque converter over, you swap your bell housing over, and you take the four-wheel drive section off. This is the transfer case for the VQ35 or the E51. You don't utilise that, it's not the same. You could probably put it in, but I saw differences. There's an actuator on the side on the R51 on the Pathfinder that this does not have. But what you need to do, the important part is have this section, which is the four-wheel drive section. So if my Pathfinder, and this is obviously the original gearbox. So what I did, I stripped off the VQ35 bell housing, put my VQ40 on, stripped this section off. My issue was on high speed. I was doing 100 kilometers an hour, and I'll be at probably about 3,000 RPM, which is a hell of a high when you're going with a V6 4-litre V6 petrol. So yeah, I just thought I'd tell you guys what I found, and it's well worth it. I know you've got a bit of wastage, if you say, in this, but I've put this on the market to see if someone is interested in it, because someone that's got an L-van can utilise this and that again. Otherwise for me it's going to be scrap value, but you know, for $450, what I've done has worked for me. I've put it in, and my transmission is smooth. I might just do a tranny flush. The oil's okay, but I might do a tranny flush at a later stage to change the transmission oil and flush it through the cooler. So these Pathfinders, R51 2006s, the R51 in that year range, they all suffered the coolant in the transmission oil issue, and I'm pretty sure everyone out there, a lot of people have had the same. So that stuffs up the TCM, the transmission control module, and it's just a pain. So this one's actually got a good TCM in, which I could probably keep as spare. So yeah, just for interest sake, so if anyone ever is looking for a transmission and a cheap alternative as opposed to buy a second-hand box out of a VQ35, RE505, out of a V6 Pathfinder, the VQ40, this is the way to go. Nissan L-van, purchase the box and strip it down. If you're mechanically minded, strip it down, put it back together, and you've got your vehicle back on the road. So for me, that was an absolute bonus. I had to put a box in first, so I did a bit of research, and I thought, okay, I'll try that box because it looked the same externally, the RL5, but the difference is the one I purchased initially, which I actually bought the chair out of, is the RE505, but it's a two-wheel drive option. You cannot utilize the two-wheel drive gearbox in the four-wheel drive application, because in the back it's actually got casting differences on this housing here. That one bolt hole does not line up, and you can't use it. That's why I had to go and repurchase another box. So it's probably cost me a little bit of exercise and effort and a bit of money, but at the end of the day I still haven't spent what I would have spent buying a second-hand used transmission that came out of R51. And the problem being, if you buy a gearbox, and why I went for the Algren gearbox. The Algren gearbox, called the Nissan Algren, never suffered the coolant in the transmission oil like they did in the Pathfinder. So if I buy a second-hand box out of Pathfinder, who knows, maybe that's somewhere down the line it's had the same issue, and I could potentially be stuck with the same thing in a couple of months. So that's why I went for Algrens, because I know they weren't hassled by or plagued by the transmission and the coolant. Coolant in the transmission oil. So went for that option, and it's paid dividends for me. So I just thought I'd make a short video and maybe, you know, help someone that's battling the same issue, that's a bit of a DIYer and, you know, wants to do it themselves and sick of taking it to the shop and, you know, escalating costs. It's an old vehicle, so it's probably worthwhile. I've got a company vehicle and another car, so it's not an issue for me. I could have it sit there, but it took me 2 weekends. Mucked around a bit on Saturday and the next Saturday and got it up and running. So yeah. So if any of you guys are out there and you've got the same issue, you're plagued with it, I'll put a couple of tags in if someone is struggling with a RE505 with a VQ40. And yeah, I just thought I'd make a short video, and hopefully this helps someone somewhere. I'm pretty sure, because I spend nights just Googling and on the internet looking for parts and seeing if I can match up a gearbox for, you know, a bit less than what the second-hand places wanted to sell one for. So this is my answer, and this worked out perfect for me. So I'm hoping someone else can get some use out of this video, and it could help them with their vehicle.